Good morning, everybody. I always say everybody, whether there's one or 100 of you, but I appreciate it. I'll be honest. I was struggling with what I was gonna do this morning, and stayed up late last night. My son and I, we played with Riley Gilbreth over in the stockyards for a CD release party, and I didn't get home. Oh gosh, it was 12:45, I think. No, it was later than that, actually. And I just, sometimes it feels good to feel so tired, you know. Just plop down. But I guess then I thought, well, I would play the guitar a little bit today. And it's like, kind of like I have stage fright or something. It's weird. So what am I gonna do? What are we gonna do? There's this hymn that this guy, his name is, let's see, I wrote it down. It's Horatio Spafford. I'm probably saying it wrong. Spafford. And he was like, I've heard this story, but I don't do a good job at telling them. But I just, since I'm going to write this down, I thought I will mention this. He was a businessman, and he had this was like in the I don't know, 1880s or something, and he had a wife and 4 daughters, and I think he put them on a ship. Anyway, the ship went down, and I think he was supposed to join them or something on this trip, and anyway, they died in the ship, you know. And I think he was actually going to them, like he was on his way. He was like on another boat or something. And then I think it talks about like it was out the boat he was on went by where his wife and his daughters went down, and I mean he just stood there and he just began to talk to God, is how how the story's told, and you know, I think it's just a picture of hope, you know. But he wrote, it's the song "It Is Well with My Soul," and so that's what I'm gonna write out. I don't know how much of it I'll write, but I'll just start. That's a big dry pen. And I don't just love that. We don't like the big. Hey, Trey, in Decor 1212, welcome. Thank you for popping in. I'm moving kind of slowly, but we'll start this thing again. Maybe I'll do this. I'll use this larger piece of paper, but anyway, I had a little, that pen should go away. All right. So anyway, he was on this boat, and apparently he wrote this song, and it goes like this. Well, the lyrics are part of the lyrics anyway. And you know, this I've had people logging on, and they say, "What are you doing?" You know, I mean, look, I don't really know either. I know that when I take time to just sort of write it, I kind of internalize it. I think about it anyway. A lot of people say they memorize things, you know, by writing. But I don't know. I just can think about it a little bit, internalize. When peace, like, I should try these pens before I start making them live. When peace, like, I think the thing about it is I just fill up the space, and I do it however I want. Now, I have often in my life tried to live my life that way too, and it doesn't always work. You know, I mean, you're going to run into, you got to put things where they go, and you know, pay your bills and whatever. You know, if you, hey, I don't think I feel like it, or it doesn't always work. Probably not a good example. When peace like a river attendeth my way. When sorrows, when sorrows like sea billows roll. When sorrows like sea billows. Sea billows roll. Whatever. I always appreciate you guys flying in and out, and if you would feel so led and subscribe, it kind of helps me along. I always appreciate that. And I know some of you have already done that, and that's all you can do, but thank you. Billows roll. Whatever my lot. Thou hast taught me to say, whatever my lot, whatever my lot, thou. You know, I'm being too careful here. I don't want to be too careful. Thou hast. I don't know why I chose to say hast. Write that so large. I don't know that that was my favorite choice. But it's okay. Thou hast taught. Whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say. A little funkiness going on there. A little sip of this coffee. A little bit of, I made it kind of strong this morning. Thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul. So when peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well. I think I'll use a little bit. With my, it is well with my. So that's the first stanza, first verse of It Is Well With My Soul. By Horatio Spafford. I am grateful for the 4 or 5 of you who've been here today, and I know you got some. Hey, Mr. Zaid T, hello. Welcome. anyway, coming in and out of here, and now I am simply, I said yesterday, feeling a little peckish. Peckish. A little bit. Of course. Oh, God, yeah, coffee's black. It's a thick, no cream. But I usually, 99% of the time I would never put any cream, but today I probably should have. My kids, my daughter actually, when she went back to Nashville Friday, I guess, and then when she did, she had this fancy espresso machine, and so I don't know, she spoiled me. She would often bring me one. And of course, I don't know. She made, what's the difference between a latte and a cappuccino? Anyway, question. But anyway, I think she was making me lattes, and I loved it. And it, of course, it has lots of milk. But I'm not getting that now. So I'm out of the regular ground coffee, and so I've been making my regular coffee pot. I've been using the espresso. It's that really fine ground. It's like a powdery, and it's very. I don't quite measure it right, I'm sure, and so it's thick. I call it thick coffee. But when I'm by myself, it's kind of okay. I think it's just if I have folks over, they're like my buddy Danny. He gives me a hard time about my coffee, and Riley's dad actually, he'll just. Anyway, we've had this conversation. Well, let's see here. But yeah, we were up late last night. My son and I, we of course were playing with Riley over in the stockyards for his CD release, and did not get home till way past my bedtime. And my bedtimes can tend to be late. I'm sort of a night owl. But man, it almost did me in. My son Dave, he drove home, and man, I was just exhausted. I think I slept hard. I won't keep you guys too much longer on this Friday morning. I have a little time. I've got some work I got to do this afternoon, not to mention I am just highly in need of office time, and I don't do that. I haven't gotten into a ritual yet, and but it's nice out, and I like to get some exercise, so I like to ride my bike a little bit, and then of course have a peppermint beetlet. These are just sitting around. Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys. I really do. And I am dragging this thing out because I'm not ready to go. I mean, I just, I have spent my life accomplishing what? What do I accomplish? I mean, there's no need necessarily to do. I am going to put this, I have, see, the whole thing when you're with me on this thing, like, so I mean, part of it is simply, I've got these pastels, and more than the finished result, it's because I like to rub the pastels on there, see, like that. And then, I've been talking about this the last few mornings. I have these little makeup eggs. You can see Kathy would have killed me if that had been hers, you know, like. Although that's something that I would have done, was gotten her. I never did that. But, so I buy my eggs at, I've been buying them at like the dollar store has, I think has, at least in my town, has the best selection of these little things. But, so you just rub a little bit. On here. I don't even know if you can see it. And somebody was asking recently, I think it was Mickey, you know, what do I do with all these things? And I have a lot of them that I don't do anything with, but my, the next thing usually, and I'm getting back into it, but I make, and I'll have to do a video with showing some of this sometime, but basically, it's like a shadow box, and I kind of put this, whatever I write, I put it in there, and I'll distress the, whatever it is I've written, maybe burn the edges a bit, maybe not, you know, and so I do that, and so I've got a load of them to work with now, so I might need to get back, I need to get started with that again. But it's pretty simple, you know, we're not going to get our hands too dirty, and so there. The last few mornings, I've been kind of dipping them in my coffee cup, but I don't think I will this morning. I just want to send you guys off with a good day. I pray you'll, you know, people say, well, I pray your day will go just the way you want it. It's a funny statement. I just pray you'll navigate it, and God will give you the strength. And He does, you know, but we have to listen and listen to what He gives us, you know. I start trying to fix it all, and I want things now. Though I try to live in the now, you know, I try to live and not worry about too much ahead. You got to worry about a little bit, but I mean, I don't need anything else right at this very single moment. I'm looking out my window. I've got a crepe myrtle. It's pink. And then I've got a red one. And the sun's out. Of course, if it were raining, I'd be okay with that. I would. But I'm going to take advantage of this in the next hour. I'm going to go get some exercise. Once again, thank you for being here, and I'll see you down the line. Okay? Y'all take care.